What happens when a wife is treated like a servant in her own home? This is not just a story, this is the silent reality of many women. My name is Fernande, and I am 38 years old. I am married to a man named George, who is 44. I work in a small office in the city, and before I met George, my life was calm and simple. George was kind, funny, and good-looking, and he always smiled. We met at a friend's dinner party. I was very shy, but he spoke to me first. We laughed together about the cold soup, and I felt safe with him. After a few weeks, we started dating. George came from a big family and lived in a large house with his parents and his younger sister. One day, he took me there so his family could meet me. I brought flowers and a cake, hoping to make a good impression. His mother smiled but did not talk much. His father shook my hand politely, and his sister did not speak to me at all. I told myself that maybe they were just quiet people. George and I dated for a year, and then he asked me to marry him. I said yes with great happiness, but his family did not share my joy. His mother asked why he was marrying so soon, and his sister said that I did not understand their way of life. Our wedding was small. My parents came and were happy, but George's family barely smiled. His mother wore a black dress, and his sister left early. After the wedding, George and I moved into his family's house. He said it would save money, and because I wanted to stay close to him, I agreed. At first, I tried my best to help. I woke up early every day, made breakfast, cleaned the kitchen, washed dishes, and helped his mother with the laundry. Still, she never thanked me. One day, she handed me a long list of chores, including cleaning the floors, windows, and bathroom. I was very tired, but I did everything. When George saw this, he only said, "That's nice, Fernande. You're good at helping." I wished he had said something more. But he did not say anything more. Soon, his sister also began asking me to do things. She would say, "Fernande, can you make me tea, or can you iron my dress?" She stayed in her room all day and did no housework at all. I felt very tired and unhappy. I tried to talk to George and said, "I feel like a maid, not a wife." George replied, "They just need time, Fernande. Please be patient." But nothing changed. I cooked every meal and washed clothes by hand until my hands started to hurt. One winter day, I made corn soup, but his mother tasted it and said, "It's too salty. You don't know how to cook," and she threw it away. I wanted to cry. Slowly, I stopped meeting my friends and stopped going out, but George did not notice. One night, I told him, "I don't want to live like this." He answered, "My mother needs help, Fernande." I tried to explain that I was not his mother's worker, that I had no space and no voice in that house. Whenever I sat down, someone asked me to clean, cook, or fold clothes. My husband thought I was overreacting. On weekends, George went out while I stayed at home. His mother said, "A good wife stays at home and works." I missed my own mother, who worked with joy, smiling, singing, and dancing while she cooked. To find some peace, I started going to the park. It became my only quiet time. One day, his sister laughed and said, "Marriage changed you, Fernande. You look old," she said. I looked at myself in the mirror and felt a shock. My eyes looked tired, and my smile had disappeared. I quietly asked myself, where is the old me? A week later, my cousin Phoebe called and asked, "How is married life, Fernande. I replied, it's good, but inside my heart wanted to tell her the truth. I felt like a maid, not a wife. I cooked, cleaned, stayed silent, and no one appreciated me. One morning, I made tea and toast, but his mother complained that there was no sugar. George came, ate quickly, and left without waiting for me. His sister asked me to make her a sandwich and did not even say thank you. I tried talking to George again and said, your family does not like me. He answered, that's not true. They just want help. I asked him why they never asked him for help, but he ignored my words. Feeling weak and tired, I went to bed. The next day, his mother told me to clean all the windows. After many hours, she came back and said I had missed one. My eyes filled with tears. That night, I told George again that I did not want to stay in that house. He said, where will we go, Fernande? We can't afford rent. I suggested living in a small apartment, but he replied, I like it here. I looked at him, but he looked away. Anger burned inside me. I wanted to scream, but once again, I stayed silent. I called my cousin Phoebe and told her everything. She listened quietly and then said, you are not their maid. You are George's wife. Her words stayed in my mind all day. That night, I came home but did not cook dinner. George asked why, and I said, I'm tired. He replied, my mother says you are lazy. I calmly said, let her say what she wants. The next morning, his mother gave me a dress and told me to wash it by hand. I looked at her and said, no, I won't. She shouted, this is my house. You cannot say no to me. I took a deep breath and said, then I will leave. When George came home, I packed a small bag and told him, I need a break. I will stay with Phoebe for a few days. Phoebe's house felt quiet, clean, and safe. For the first time in weeks, I smiled. I stayed there for 3 days, and then I called George and said, I need to talk. He came the next day. I looked at him and asked, do you want a wife or a maid? He said, you know it's not like that, but I answered, it is. You let them treat me this way. He stayed silent for a moment and then said, I will find a small place for us. Just the two of us. I promise, Fernande. He searched for apartments every day, and after a week, we found a small one-bedroom flat with a tiny kitchen. We moved out quietly. His family watched us leave but said nothing. I held George's hand, and together, we walked away. In our new apartment, we unpacked everything together. We placed the plates in the cupboards, folded the clothes, and opened the curtains. The space felt warm, quiet, and safe. That night, I cooked pasta, and George put the cups on the floor. We sat, ate together, and laughed. For the first time in a long while, I felt real happiness and peace. Every morning after that, I made breakfast, and George ate with a smile. He shared the housework with me. He washed the dishes, cleaned the floor, and took out the trash. We did these things together, and it made me feel loved and important. We spent our time watching movies, walking in the park, holding hands, and talking. We said sorry when we were wrong, and we said I love you often. Slowly, we added small things to our home: a table, a few chairs, a rug, and a photo. It became truly ours. On our first anniversary in the new flat, George bought a small cake. We lit one candle, danced together, and held each other close. I wore my favorite dress and felt like myself again. When George said, "You look beautiful, Fernande," I smiled from my heart. We still missed our friends, our family, and Phoebe sometimes, but we did not miss the old house. I am Fernande. I am George's wife, not a maid. I may have simple things, but I have love, peace, and joy. I have my own life and my own home now. I can wake up and choose how to live my day. No one orders me to clean or cook all the time. I am free to be myself. I am not living for others anymore. I am living for me. This is how a woman feels when she finally has a home of her own. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.